Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17.
And Greyshot151 here.
And today we're doing something a little different. We're doing our top 10 movies of 2019 plus honorable mentions.
Yes. For our first video, one of our first videos of 2020, we thought to celebrate the year in style, of course. And give you our top picks from 2019.
Don't ask why he's as a 1920s.
You said to come in the style of the 20s, and I showed up.
Okay.
You didn't mention it wasn't the roaring 20s. It was very just.
Okay. Anyway,
need to be more, You
know what? Absolutely. Definitely need to be more concise on that. But in any case, let's tell you our top films, or at least, and again, this is both by our critical eye and also our personal eye. So if there's a movie on here that maybe isn't as highly rated as others, it's because to us, we thoroughly enjoyed them.
Yes.
Yes. So in any case, let's
list our honorable mentions.
Alrighty. So we're using Tier Maker, of course, for this. So our first honorable mention, I want to say, by the way, no particular order. So we'll go through this. Alita Battle Angel. That is going to be our first honorable mention.
Visually stunning, solid action. Some good character development on the main character, even with some wonky romantic subplots and such.
But I like how they murdered the guy at the end.
Yeah.
Again, spoiler alert for all these movies. But yeah, they brutally murder him. So again, they just cut that out. And they needed something to end the movie because otherwise... It is also more lead up, but that being said, for what it was, I was really surprised by how good it was.
It's a movie that I actually would like a sequel to.
Yes.
I would, like, if there's a part 2 that's basically the finale, like that finishes everything, even if it's like a smaller budget.
Yep.
I would totally go watch it, and I hope they do it.
So the next movie on our honorable mention list that I will say is Crawl. Crawl, and by the way, we're going to go through all our honorable mentions, then we'll go through our top 10.
Yes.
Crawl is literally, in my opinion, the best monster movie of 2019. It is by far an amazing, exciting, thrilling monster movie with great leads, great effects for the budget, a really good idea and premise, and it's just... they just do it extremely well. And also, there's also other people that just get brutally murdered by these alligators who are just... It's funny because you mentioned The Quiet Place about the monsters for killing. These things just want to kill everyone. They're mad.
Yeah, they're just like alligators that they don't like the hurricane. They're annoyed and anything they see.
There's also a nest involved and stuff. But overall, it's just a great thrilling time. Ended a little quicker than I would have wanted.
A little quicker, and I kind of wish there was more build up with one alligator in particular between the main character. Just like a little bit more personalized. But regardless, still a very, very good movie.
It's just also very fun. It's a very fun
It's a fun thriller, movie. Which is hard to put into words, but I mean, to think about, but it is.
The next movie I will put on our honorable mention is Ford v Ferrari. This is going to be a little bit of a shocker because to us, it is executed extremely well. But there's like little small gripes I have with some actors just disappearing into the wind. And then just the ending maybe going on a little too long in some regard and not enough in others.
Yeah, it's the way I think the best part of this movie is Christian Bale. He delivers an A+ performance. Like it is an amazing performance. Matt Damon is great. There are who's the guy? John Bernthal?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Like everyone has their part to play.
Matt Damon is also really good in this.
Yeah, but I would say he's like the second best.
Yes.
But yeah, no, everyone pulls their weight, everyone does their lead, everyone, you can understand their reasoning, like the characters. It's just a fun time at the movies. Like I could watch this movie again and just sit back, like watch it during a party. It'd be great.
It also does something extremely well where it gets you involved in racing and car dynamics and mechanics, even though you have no clue.
Yeah, I'm not a racer. I can change the tire on my car and that's about it. But this movie, dang it, next time I change a tire on my car, I'm going to imagine this movie, just like some of the best set pieces. And be like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Speaking of set pieces, next on our honorable mention list, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Unofficially, this is our rank number 11 for the year. But note, yes, this movie critically maybe not as well received. And yes, some of the main characters in this are not great. The main character's kind of the main fault. But here's the thing. It involves Godzilla central to the plot.
Yes.
Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, Rodan's action sequences, the second battle in Boston with Mothra. The whole Mothra dynamic is so interesting and fascinating, and all those set pieces are fantastic.
Solid side characters. Yeah. Like it's solid action. Like it's just a fun blockbuster at the end of the day.
This is the movie that I have watched the most this year and made me cry the most this year for a lot of Mothra scenes. But no other film this year actually made me tear up as much. So no matter what that's worth, to me, I fought try to get on top 10, but I knew honestly our other 10
There's just too many good movies this year.
Were way better.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people are like, man, the summer 2019 is terrible. And I'm like,
have you been watching movies?
Yeah. Like, to be fair, a lot of the movies we're going to put on our list are afterwards.
Yes.
But a lot of them were before. And I'm like, man, this year's shaping up pretty well.
Yep.
Our next movie on our list, which also shaping up, honorable mention,
How to Train Your Dragon 3.
This ended...
Everything with Toothless and everything with Hiccup is amazing in this movie.
Yep.
Like the initial sequence, the action, like those two, DreamWorks know how to like play off each other.
But
and you can understand the inevitable conclusion that these two characters are going to have. But
some of the side characters are fine. They get little arcs or little joke moments.
Okay.
Other ones are just frustratingly annoying.
The villain is entertaining enough.
No, the villain's great.
He's not like detailed. Like I think that the second person was at a better, even though he was kind of basic.
Yeah.
He was still. I liked his backstory a little bit more. Whereas this one was okay, but he was way more charismatic. He was just having a fun time in the role.
Oh yeah, it's like it kind of reminded me of like Christopher Walken, but evil and like actually more menacing, like in his heyday. But anyway, also the ending. The ending is impactful, emotional, and it's super super good.
Yes.
But there are other animated films that had better side characters and more intriguing plots and stuff like that overall. Even though this film is still a great way to end the Dragon series.
Yep.
Next up on the honorable mention list is. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Not Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Yeah.
Although another really good film. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood has a great lead that bounces off
Tom Hanks' performance.
Yes. And here's the thing. There are moments in here you can absolutely see someone like turning it and being like getting into an argument. But Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers does such a good job being like, I never thought of it that way. Thank you for your opinion. It's like, oh man, and that's even so much more impactful.
Yeah, the main thing about this, I don't think he nails the look entirely.
Yeah,
but the mannerisms, the speech, like everything, like down to his like little hand movements, it's basically the same guy, and you can understand a little bit behind the character, like Mr. Rogers, without seeing. With leaving you to find your own conclusions, which I liked.
Also, we should give a note that even though the performance of Mr. Rogers, aka Tom Hanks, is going to be like what everyone talks about, the main actor reporter is exceptionally good because you understand his turmoil, his loss that the suffering he went through as a kid, and also the mental anguish he's going through in the present. So honestly, I really enjoyed that. Plus a lot of other good side performances like Mr. Rogers' wife, the reporter's wife, the whole crew at the film studio. Really well done.
Yeah.
Another film on our honorable mention list is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And immediately we get destroyed in the comments.
Yes.
Okay, so this movie
meanders a lot. It's good meandering.
It's a wonderful, wonderful movie. But there are a lot of other movies that came out this year that spoke to us more than this movie.
Yes. Also, it's another thing with Ford v Ferrari having two male leads that are like center stage. Oh yeah, this movie does the same thing.
I would say this movie does it better because I just want to see a whole movie with these two characters just playing off each other
and the ending
watching a movie.
The ending 20 minutes, I laughed so goddamn hard, and I was just it's like there's another movie that had a better like last act. But this movie is one of the best last acts of the year. Now, I will say this. The problem is there are moments where you're literally watching the two main leads watch a TV show.
Yes. Captivating as like as Avengers Endgame's like final shot. There's like so many wonderful sequences in this movie. Yep. The problem is for me is I can admire the craft behind it.
Yes.
But I am not
it's
not my forte.
There's a character in this movie that has a side plot that goes nowhere, and
you kind of understand. Like the side plot is basically like, if you know history, is basically the payoff. But again, for us, it wasn't the movie that
they should have done something more substantial. I would say to include.
Yeah. And again, this amazing movie, but it just didn't speak to us. But we had to mention it.
Next honorable mention, Rocket Man. easily better than Bohemian Rhapsody, because that was on our honorable mention last year, right?
Yeah, I think
Unfortunately, this doesn't quite make it, but when I saw this, I was like, you didn't give high regards to it.
I said it was good. I said it was good.
I love this movie. The lead performance is fantastic. The side characters are all great. Again, it actually delves into the man's psyche. The musical sequences make sense. And even though it's like fantasy, it's his own fantasy. And I love the dynamic of him slowly breaking apart the glamour and the charm
and the costume that
he's wearing when he first comes in to what the core of his character, and I love that. But overall, also the music's great. That Taron Egerton gives one of the best performances of the year as well. So give a knockout. So great job for that. Now, in the battle between Marvel and DC, one film that I did not expect to like so much is Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam, just a fun time.
Shazam was so fun. The only thing I'll say is some of the side characters I wish got a little more screen time. Like some of the other children.
I'm sure it was like on a director's cut or something. But it's just because all the characters are so lovable. Like you get the characters, their dialogue is great. The city is great. The timing of all this whole thing is great.
The training montage he has, and also the robber sequences is so funny. Where he's like, "Yeah, shoot me!" It's and like other stuff, and it's like, "Hey, you're dead." It's like there's some great comedic timing by Zachary Levi in this, and I just will give that off to him. The final battle sequence also really well done. I liked also the team Shazam focus on that. God forbid they have to film this quick because of the kids, but I am so interested to see Shazam 2 more so than Captain Marvel 2.
Yep.
And it's because they nailed the central lead in this more so than the other Captain Marvel film, which how hilarious is there's two technical Captain Marvel movies of almost the same character, even though they're different universes.
I mean, it's
in the same year.
There are enough Marvel movies, and like there's enough superhero movies being made. I'm sure the odds.
Unfortunately, it didn't do as well box office wise. It still did well. It still made a good profit.
Hopefully there's a sequel.
And now, The Rock is doing Black Adam, and then Shazam 2 like a few months after that. So I can't wait for Zachary Levi to battle The Rock. Even supposedly Superman's going to be making an appearance, which would be amazing.
I want to see that, yeah. That'd be great.
Next up, we got our next honorable mention, which is Villains. This film is, I feel so bad because I went to see this. There was a giant movie theater, and there was only my group and one other group in it. The dialogue and the character focus of this movie, essentially it involves, which is also funny because you could say Burn Notice and the closer meet Pennywise and the girl from It Follows, plus an appearance from, what's the gentleman's name? He voices Gargoyles and the Arbiter. He also, that gentleman.
That guy, I'm blanking on his name, but I know what you're talking about.
It's going to pop up here, but he's also, he pops up and I'm like, oh God, he's in here. He's fantastic. But the main thing about this movie is essentially you have two young con artists and robbers, which also, they're just so smart yet dumb at the same time. It's great. Versus two experienced con artists / murderers. And it's just like, oh, this is a good dynamic.
Yep.
But really well done, really well shot. Really like the engagements between the characters. And overall, just a nice, small little movie. Any case. So now that we're in our honorable mention phase is complete. Now that our honorable mention phase is complete, let's get on to our top 10 films of 2019. Note, these may not be your top films, but these are what we personally like.
Yes, starting off the list.
Toy Story 4. A little bit of a decisive because people are like, it didn't go anywhere. Some of the side characters weren't as well used. You're right, but
this isn't Toy Story 4. This is Woody Story 1. It's very much.
This is the epilogue more so.
Yeah, this is an epilogue to Woody's story that has been growing ever since the first movie. His interaction, Buzz doesn't get too much to go, and none of the side characters.
Yep.
But for everyone involved, like Bo Peep, who is all the new characters, like the Daredevil. That's
my God! But this is the year of goddamn
Keanu Reeves.
I mean, look,
like that. Or
Buzz Lightyear is also great for. I know people are like, oh, he only had one note. I'm like, yeah, but he did it well, and I liked his dynamic. I always liked Buzz, so Buzz is fantastic.
Regardless,
animation's gorgeous.
The thing I'm trying to say is the characters are fun and the story is compelling all the way up to the very end. I will admit it's kind of sad that you don't see the other characters get to do as much. But I don't think that's the point of this movie.
Some of them have died, so they reuse voice lines.
Yeah, it's not the point of this movie. The point of this movie is to basically be like, end Woody's story. And for that, I actually give it credit.
Yeah.
I liked it. And after thinking about it, I liked it more and more.
Yeah.
So that's honestly why
it doesn't have to be some big spectacle. It's just a smaller epilogue movie, and it did it well.
Yeah.
Now, next up, something that also did well, John Wick 3.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the best action this year. You want to see a man be killed by a book? You got it. You want to see some dog on henchman action? You got it. You want to see John Wick fight multiple people using essentially hand-to-hand combat versus guns? You got it. Also,
or going AP rounds against
the knife fight,
the
horse action. Like, there's so many sequences in the movie that I will remember because they're so outlandish. The first 30-minute chase sequence / hunting sequence is so good. So, yeah, it's just nonstop action. There are some slower moments in the story, but that being said, it's still interesting. It's still unique. And I still give it credit for that. And again, the fact that they have all three of these films such high bar and quality, I personally enjoy. And the final fight in the hotel is so interesting because you have bulletproof men being shot by guns. How do you kill them?
And you have to go like this weak point. The thing I will say about this movie is, if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has an amazing last 20 minutes, John Wick 3 is basically those 20 minutes but half the movie.
Yes.
There are some shortcomings, but overall it's still it's John Wick. It's
most of this film movie. We were saying oh my god in the movie theater,
in a great way.
Yes.
But at number 8 we have
Joker. Oh boy, people are like, why isn't it your number one? Reasons. Now look, Joker's a very good character study of a person that's breaking from society with mental issues, with the whole social class issues, and it's really good in that regard. I still don't think he becomes the Joker in it.
No, this is
he gets the Joker ideal down perfectly.
Yeah, the themes, the ideas, the legacy of Joker he nails.
Yeah.
The actual person, not so much.
Yeah.
I think Heath Ledger nails the person.
He's a proto version of him.
Ignoring though what we think of the Joker and just focusing on the actual character in this movie, the actions of the character, the plot, the character, the other characters, the humor, the sadness, the joy, all swirling around this tormented figure who is losing his mind and gaining confidence.
Yes.
It works out. It's a very good movie. It's not what I'd probably watch again, but it's still a great movie, and I can definitely respect it.
Now, the next film on our list is Claws. This came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
for me, at the very least.
I didn't know about this until you recommended it to me, and you're like, go watch it. I'm like, okay. Watched it. I'm like, oh my god.
The ending moment punches me more in the gut than Toy Story and How to Train Your Dragon. I'm like, this is a Santa Claus movie. This is a movie about Santa Claus. I should know. This should be fine. They somehow improve. You have the main character from essentially an altered version of Emperor's New Groove in this.
Yeah, the despicable, pompous. Yeah.
But he's so funny. He actually works in this.
Yeah.
Because you can do that character and he sucks. They nail it here that he's like Cusco. Then you also have the whole town dynamic of them feuding with each other, which is really funny. There are moments in there that that you miss, like with the snowman that keeps being murdered, or like with the children.
Yeah.
And it's so good. There's so good dark comedy moments in this. And also, J.K. Simmons voices the
Claus. Yeah. He does a wonderful job. Very minimal, but great. You basically hear him just like huff and puff.
David Keith. Or
Keith David?
Keith David, thank you. That's who the gentleman. See, I knew I'd remember the guy's name halfway through this.
But no, all the performances are wonderful. The animation is beautiful. It is the most beautiful film, like 2D animated, like film.
Probably this year, I would say.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous. But no, it's a wonderful,
the lighting is
heartfelt, little
cheesy toward the end. But I like how even if he. I like, again, spoiler on the ending, I like how even if he didn't show up, that they had everything covered.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, yeah, you had to do a little personal thing, but we still had things covered.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the whole dynamic with Claus in his arc and his eventual death, with that moment got me. Yeah. And then the moment where literally he's just like, and then once a year, I can't explain it, but I get to see my friend. It's just a heartfelt moment.
It's it'll break your soul every time. It's like, oh. But that's why that is at number 7. But at number 6, we have
Ready or Not.
This came out of nowhere again.
This, even more so, was like, I think the trailer looks fine. I know one of the actors from Orphan Black, and I'm like, I know he's a good comedian, but
I knew nothing.
I was shocked by how good this movie was.
It's also funny. The characters are great. They're all unique. A little bit shallow, but still wonderfully unique.
Also, Game of Thrones Bolton's in this. I forget the actor's name, but the guy who plays Ramsay Bolton, the villain that gets killed in season 6.
Oh, he's like the redemptive.
Yeah,
he's got like a redemption arc, and I didn't even realize it was him. But yeah he's really good. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone's good in here. The comedy's on point. The horror elements are on point.
Is it the aunt or the grandmother that has, like, the freaky Cruella de Vil hair that's, like, sticking straight up and, like, just the eyes with the axe? I'm like, oh, God. The running joke of killing maids is hilarious.
Yes. The coke-addicted aunt, I think, is just great as well. But no, this movie is just a wonderful time. Go see it. It's just a lot of fun. That's all I can say. It
does have some good horror elements. It does, like, with the whole, like, hand nail sequence, and also that, like, the death pit that gets stuck in, and also, but there are weaker moments, like the whole getting out of the facility, or like the house, I would say, is a little weaker than being inside the house.
Yeah.
But the ending, oh God, the ending's very good.
Yep.
Even that I won't spoil here, but it's super, super good.
Yep.
Now we're in our top 5 movies of the year. These are all fantastic, and in our personal opinion, our favorites. And at number 5, we have Dr. Sleep. I know a lot of people are saying that maybe it's a little too fan servicey toward the end.
I completely disagree. I think you could maybe argue a little, but all the characters, the interactions, it's just everyone pulls their weight, and no one isn't. Even the child character,
the kid acting in this is amazing. Compared to this to like Dumbo or something, where it's just so bland. The child acting for both the young. The
main girl,
the young central character and the young girl is
even like the people
good.
the kids that die,
like
that get murdered, are like pretty captivating for while they're on screen.
Also, they have it's amazing how this film is so layered and so interesting, where they have a goddamn character in this from Ruby, and that character is used in this as a cameo so freaking well. I'm like,
it's used for a plot point.
Yeah,
it's used by the main girl, which is, I was like, oh my God, they're just, why are they throwing this like blatant TV series? And I'm like, okay. I understand now. Okay, well done, movie.
And judging by what the character can do, I understand why she would relate to that character.
Other things I will say, again, Ewan McGregor, 10 out of 10 performance.
Yeah.
Him facing his father's demons and like confronting his own like problems. It's just a wonderful arc. And I like the ending shot of him with his mom is just so emotionally satisfying that I left the movie just like, this was I've never seen The Shining.
Yeah.
I will flat out admit that. But this movie makes me want to see The Shining. Like, it's a wonderful
And as a person
movie.
who has seen The Shining, I will say that it does a great job at building upon The Shining, being its own separate thing without relying on too many of the same things. So at the end it does, but
not repeating a lot of the same steps.
It has a great central villain, a great story, and such a great lead that I loved. Again, just the main performances are all fantastic. Now, here's the thing. We've seen Uncut Gems. We've seen The Lighthouse. We've seen a number of films that are, or at least I've seen The Lighthouse, and we've seen Uncut Gems, and a bunch of other films this year that are getting critical acclaim and all these other things that are all favorites. Now, to be fair, there are a couple we have not seen. Like, unfortunately, I did not see Marriage Story, and you did not, and we have not seen what's it called? The Farewell. Those are 2 films that we wanted to see, we didn't get a chance to. But that being said, at number 4 is Dragon Ball Super Broly. This is going to be a dark horse. People are like, why the hell would you put this movie on our list? And also,
because it is the most fun time I've had at the theater in a very long time. Like, all these movies are great. Like, Ready or Not is probably the closest thing, but Dragon Ball Super Broly, as a Dragon Ball fan, I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. I watched Super and watched its very, very good highs and very, very just cringe lows. And this movie captures what is the best parts of Dragon Ball: the comedy, the action, the character,
the music. The music in this is great. The animation's great. There's actually a good character
it's not great.
arc.
It's phenomenal. It is just breathtaking, some of the shots.
Now, you could say Greyshot didn't this movie come out last year. And our native rule, which will actually apply to 1917, if it doesn't get a wide release in 2019, like a report card or like an exam, or it has to be due at a certain date, otherwise it goes on to the next semester. guess what? 1917, you released wide on January 9th.
So we can't see it,
Yep.
so it's a 2020 movie.
Even the Alamo Drafthouse, which gets limited release theaters, doesn't have your movie. That's a good benchmark to be like, if you're not even at the Alamo,
you don't deserve...
Yeah.
No. You're not getting on our list.
yes. So
The high standards of the Greyshot Productions awards.
But the fight sequence in this is probably my most watched fight sequence of the year. I love Broly versus that. The music is some of my favorite music of the year.
Which fight sequence? You just said one.
Oh, sorry. Broly versus Vegeta and Broly versus Gogeta.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, both of those are wonderful.
Even the whole my favorite sequence of this movie is Frieza killing Broly's father, and Broly.
Oh no, Broly! A random energy blast killed your dad.
Followed by Broly
going Super Saiyan is just it's supposed to be. I think it's like it's supposed to be emotional in the movie, but it's just played for laughs. It's just wonderful. Everyone behind the scenes knows what they're doing.
Yes,
they know what to expect. Like, oh, a Transformer's supposed to be emotional, and they've turned it into a comedy bit. So
no, Chris Saban and Sean Schemmel don't like give the best performances of their career or anything like that.
No.
And it's not like some emotional thing.
Frieza and the Broly character and all the others probably give far better performances. But it's especially Frieza. But all of these characters are just wonderful to see on screen. Like Ready or Not, they're not Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
But it's just a fun time at the cinema. And in regards to fun, this is why it's at number 4. The fun level on this is a solid 12 out of 10.
And it had no
It had no right to be this good. I saw Battle of Gods in Frieza and the Resurrection.
And it's like they're fine. This not only felt like a movie, this felt like a goddamn experience.
Yes.
But in any case, let's move on and get to another experience. Avengers Endgame. This had no right as well to end as well as it did. Justice League, in retrospect, a lot of people are looking in retrospect for Force Awakens right now, being like, it's not as good. Justice League, you compare it like, we're sorry we rated that highly because how good Endgame was. All the characters are given moments of to
retrospection, like looking back on their past and looking at like the future.
Specifically, Tony Stark, Captain America, and I would even argue, what's her name, Nebula.
Those three, I would say, are the main characters.
Yes.
Definitely. Regardless, the action, like in the final third, is breathtaking. It's something that you'd never think is on screen, and it just happens. There are shots that I still want artwork of.
Yeah.
Specifically, Captain America walking towards the army.
Yeah.
Alone is just wonderful.
Yes.
There are good comedy bits throughout. The Hail Hydra bit and the Captain America taking Thor's hammer
are
being
so
some of probably the best moments, if not in moments that I will always remember because the payoff is just that great. And it's something you can only have in a series that's lasted 10 years.
And guess what?
I don't know how they're going to repeat it. They probably won't.
To the Dark Universe, to the DC Universe, to the Conjuring Universe, to every other universe that's attempting to do this. You know why these movies succeed? Because it is a movie series, but it's also a TV series.
Yeah.
That's why this show does this so well. Yes, it's formulaic. You can absolutely say that they have a similar beats between Iron Man and Ant-Man.
Yep.
But you cannot say that Ant-Man is the same character as Iron Man. You can't say that Doctor Strange is the same as...
Marvel focuses on making their characters likable.
And stand out.
And different from everyone else. And that is why they are loved as much as they are. Because every character is different from the next. Every character does something unique.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day...
You may not like Captain Marvel. You may not like, for example, you may not like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
You may not like, War Machine. You may not like any of the Guardians. But there
are 5 others that you may love. And,
yeah.
And seeing them on screen, interacting off each other, is something that you cannot replicate.
Yes.
And that's why this movie succeeds where so many others fail.
And also, this movie is so unexpected. You honestly have no idea what's going to happen when you go into the movie.
Yeah.
And when I go into the movie, and literally I'm like, wait, what happened the first 10 minutes? What? How many years later?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, you don't know how it's going to end, which it subverted expectations without being ridiculous like Game of Thrones or something else. But that is why it is our number 3. But at number 2... Jojo Rabbit.
I love this movie. It's my personal favorite movie of the year. Because goddamn, you made Hitler like just a dumb moron, and
it's a satire. It's a satire. It's basically,
and you just made him a comedian, and I love it. Like Taika Waititi does such a great job. You have such a
he's still a monster. You see how a young boy that
was my next
is
thing.
In this situation idolizes a character, realizes the horribleness of the person, and then goes against it. And that's something that you wouldn't see many other filmmaker make this movie.
You have a young child actor that gives one of the best performances, both young and or adult, like just performances in general of the year. You have situations where the tension is so amazingly like thick, and you're high, and you're like, oh god, what's gonna happen? You have Scarlett Johansson, who gives one of the best performances I've ever seen out of her in this movie as a supporting role, and gives one of the most emotional gut punches of this movie. Of this year, just with the whole sequence involving a shoe. Yes. And it's built up so well. And the hatred this kid feels, whether fantasy-wise or not, is something that is so relatable because people go through this from being taught this at such a young age.
It's being indoctrinated. It's whether you're indoctrinated in regards to, like, again, this evil ideology, or you're taught. It's learning, like, getting at, like, breaking free, and like realizing that, again, what this kid goes through is like realizing that Hitler isn't someone you should be idolizing, but an evil monster.
Yes.
And literally kicking him out a window, which is one of the best parts of the movie.
I believe that the gentleman's name is Sam Rockwell, the general who knows what's going on.
Oh, the flamboyant general that knows everything's going to blow up, but he's just like, I'm just gonna have fun while I can.
Yes, I'm training the children into what was it for aquatic warfare by having jump into a pool, when of course that will happen. He's just like, let's get it over with.
Yeah.
And also I love him with the grenade. Did the whole sequence with his face, knowing, oh, this is going badly, but you know what? Oh, it's a good time.
Yeah. Again, great jokes, great heart, and a great emotion, great characters. Can't say anything more. But if we're going at number one, this is a movie that, again, if you want to go on the character, it nails the characters.
Yes.
Nails the story.
Yep.
It nails the atmosphere. Nails the fun level, and it's just every way you look at it is the most perfectly rounded off, solid piece of entertainment of the year.
Yep.
Every character you love. I rewatched this again with my girlfriend and her family, and I shed tears on certain moments because I care about some characters and I don't want to see them go. And just watching other characters, the main lead, who I am blanking on, but
Daniel Craig.
No, not CSI KFC.
Oh, which also is, in this accent got a little grating, but eventually you're like, oh, this is great.
What? I never found that. I always found him hilarious. So Ana de Armas is the main lead, and she does my favorite.
You know what else she's from, right?
No.
Blade Runner 2049. She's the woman that's hunting down.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, again, I was like, wait, I know her from somewhere.
But she's just such a wholesome, wonderful character to just put on screen. Like, she is the good character that you want to see in a movie, and I loved every moment she was on screen. People might say, oh, she's bland. She has no... It's like, this is
she has a good arc.
Wonderful human being that I in regards to a movie that, like a year that has like superheroes, super beings, supernatural, like all these characters that you want to idolize, like I idolized her the most because just being a good person that she was, and you feel that in everything she does.
Also, the entire supporting cast is great. There's so many good moments from all of them. The Nazi boy masturbating in the bathroom.
Yeah.
The one girl that's high all the time. The other woman that's literally talking about aerobics and how amazing she is. Michael Shannon's character, where he's crippled, yet he's one of the most physically intimidating guys there.
Yep.
The whole... Again, so many different subplots.
The whole cheating scandal between the son,
Jamie Lee Curtis,
the daughter, and like her, yeah.
And also, I think what's Michael Glover is Christopher Glover, that gives such a good Plummer. Damn it, not Glover. Plummer. Christopher Plummer, who gives such a great performance as the main guy behind the entire family. The writer.
Christopher Plummer sells this movie. He absolutely sells.
In one scene, I get emotional because I understand the respect he has to other people. I'm like, oh god, like, it's such a well-crafted movie. I like the music. I really do. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I like the music more in Broly? Yes. Do I think that overall there's better a group dynamic in an Endgame? Yes. Do I think that probably there's a better lead performance and story maybe in Jojo Rabbit. Yes, but still, if you combined all the elements together, I 100% see why Knives Out's number one.
Yeah, if this is a movie I'd recommend to anyone.
Yes.
Like, no matter who this is, if you like whodunits, you like not. Like, Jojo Rabbit is a movie I can't do that. Endgame is not something
Well,
like Dragon Ball Super is not. Sleep is not. Ready or Not, no. Like, Claws, no.
Oh, God, Joko, hell no.
Joker, no. John Wick, no. Toy Story 4, no. Like, maybe. But, like, it's just a movie I could recommend to anyone because it's just so... It hits everything. It has, it's thrilling, it's emotional, it's heartfelt, it's fun,
Also,
it's
Chris
our
Evans
movie.
is so good in this movie.
Yeah,
as one of the...
Once again, everyone does an amazing job. No one is bad in this movie.
Yep.
From Christopher Plummer to Chris Evans to... just go see it. It's our movie of 2019, and that's what we'd recommend you see, or anyone to see, for the year.
But in any case, again, a lot of good movies. What was your favorite movie of 2019?
And tell us why we're wrong in the comments below.
Yes, but in any case, upcoming as well, expect probably today when it releases, a movie review of The Grudge. Congratulations, everyone. You voted for it, aka my patrons, so I'll be watching The Grudge. And as well, every single week for the foreseeable future, I will be reviewing movies that you decide. Usually 1 or 2 weeks after they release, so this week will be The Grudge, next week will be... is it Bad Boys? Or is that the week after? Anyway,
Bad Boys for Life.
Some movie. It could be a big action. It could be a small little indie film with terrible animation. But who knows? I'll be watching it and giving my opinion on it. And possibly pulling him to suffer through some of them. But in any case, this has been Greyshot17.
And Greyshot151.
And we'll see you all next time.
Later.
Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Josh, Milam, Joey G240, Just Thomas Plays, Spartycus, Rifle, JrChicklis, Pyroshark, Ollie, Ace, GTA, and Jakub Osweight. Thank you all for your incredible support. This has been Greyshot17 and his amazing patrons, and I'll see you all next time.